This is your daily briefing and you're most welcome to it. Antonio Conte has had his Jose Mourinho moment. And in March last year, just to refresh your memory, Jose said of Tanguy, "He's a player with great talent. He has to know he has to do better. And I know I cannot keep giving him opportunities to play because the team is more important." There was also the line to the press, don't forget, when he was asked about Tanguy's availability. Mourinho said he's always injured. And now we've got Conte saying he's a midfielder. I think he is a midfielder. A question for Daniel Levy is the same as it was nearly a year ago. What are you going to do about Tanguy Ndombele? Because you're the CEO. Hayters wrote a piece in The Guardian, just another refresher for you, back in 2019 on Tanguy Ndombele, who was dubbed the complete midfielder as long as he's focused. And that's the problem. He's as focused as a hungover goldfish. Hayters continues, talk to anybody in France about Ndombele and one word recurs, nonchalance. And it is not meant as a compliment. It takes the impression that he has not always been the most hard-working player. Perhaps it is because his talent is so big and everything comes so easily to him. Sullivan Martinet, who was his youth team captain at Guingamp, told Ouest France he was nonchalant. He was so strong that we were expecting more from him, more consistency. But he didn't try as much. He didn't give the impression of always being 100%. And perhaps with hindsight, what harmed him was his behaviour off the pitch. We were less talented, but we wanted it more than he did. For me, the moment that I found most disturbing with the whole Tanguy business, including now and the past and everything else in between, was that moment in the Amazon documentary All or Nothing, with the player liaison officer, who looked pretty weird, just as a side note, Daniel Levy, and the player, and Tanguy looked utterly confused as to where he was and why he was there. Harry Redknapp is back doing the rounds again. I don't think they'll dive in. And they've got no need to panic buy because they still got a chance of finishing in the top four, said our old gaffer. The title race is wide open this year. Conte may try to improve them a little, get one or two in and push for the Champions League spots, but they've got a strong enough squad anyway. I get it that the Redknapps are kind of footballing household names, yet I have no idea where their continued stone throwing at Tottenham managers is indulged. What they say doesn't match up with reality. A squad that's had its blushes spared by being ejected from the Europa Conference League is absolutely not strong enough.
Who? Paratici?
No. No, wrong number. Ich habe gepurchased diesen Telefon auf eBay. Ja. Ciao.
A great comment left on the blog about Harry Winks here. Can't we have players that have the application, desire and the talent, or is that only for other clubs to enjoy? Makes a good point. Why can't we have nice things? Why is it so complicated? Antonio Conte believes that Hugo Lloris will sign a new contract at Tottenham as Spurs captain loves the club, despite the failure to get new terms agreed as his deal enters into its final 6 months, the usual Tottenham way, always at the death. If the catastrophic threat of Gollini being our number one doesn't shift things along, I don't know what will. What does the future hold for Antonio Conte? I think he's always been pretty straightforward when dealing with the press so far. To his credit, he's not swerved or deflected any questions. He's always answered them to the best of his ability. And he's always struck me as a guy who, as I said before, he's looking for positives. But a real concern is when he's putting forward the fact that Harry Winks is somebody he can depend upon as a positive. It really makes you wonder. I don't expect too much from the January window. I've said this before. I think it would be immensely hard, despite my misgivings and concern and contempt for Levy and for Enoch. I don't think asking them to rectify the wrong end of 20 years in one winter window is a reasonable way to conduct oneself. But I tell you this, they need to do something. They can't do nothing. And beyond the window, one crucial aspect, And this is only something we're going to be able to get a sense of as the time goes on towards the end of the season, is they need to get deals in place, with absolute certainty for the summer. Because I tell you what, if they don't shake the box, if they don't move things around come the end of the season, then Conte won't be here the following season. And that's not difficult to work out. Watford up next, and this really ought to be a goal fest. What cannot speak, cannot lie. Side in 17th have won just 4 games so far this season and have a minus 13 goal difference. Watford haven't won in their last 6 outings. Good luck, keep it Tottenham.